What is up? Um, this is day 214 of Backtesting until Unprofitable. I was doing some journaling and even though I'm a bit late, we are 10 minutes to the next day, but today is the first day of the month and I hope the month brings some blessings. Today I caught a good dub and yeah, very great trading day. We'll see how the rest of the month goes. And with that being said, I think we should just get started with the analysis. So first off, the things I would see here is that we are somewhat bearish. Yesterday was extremely bearish, that we created an inversion here, and on the weekly you can see that we're in a weekly fair value gap. So I'm looking for, I would like to see it drop lower. So daily here was inversed. Checking the 4-hour, well, we have this gap here. There's also this premium gap, but I'm not really think that it will reach that premium gap. I'm just looking for a short area, so it might retrace and reach into this gap here or not. So whichever happens, we're ready. How about the 1 hour? In the 1 hour there's an SMT at these highs, so I'm thinking that the open will be aggressive with dropping right away, and yeah, that's what it does. So consider that the lows have been run here. So I'm still bearish. I'm looking for a potential opportunity where I could short this. Let's see if it's gonna run those highs here. Okay, now that these highs are run, maybe could start to see some shorts towards these lows, which doesn't remove the fact that we could also head into the 4-hour gap. So with my analysis I can see that we're delivering from sell side as of now. I have a sell side delivery from here, so let's see if it heads higher. No, I think I will short it here. I have a good 2-minute inversion right here, and we have a good run on the highs. Well, I'm always aware of these discount caps. These are the ones that could cause like a reversal when prices go close to TP, so I put them in account when taking the trades. I'm targeting for around 83 handles, risking around 500 over 72, which gives me 7. I'm risking around 7 contracts, 7 mini contracts. Well, this was a good drop. Don't know if it's gonna reverse back higher. Okay. Well, apparently it didn't have. I think actually this is also a discount cap. Let's see. This is also a discount cap. Should have counted it starting here. Anyways, that was a good trade though. A plus, definitely A plus. And there's still an SMT at these highs. get yet another inversion here. Also this small run on the high. It's in a 5-minute gap. I believe it's still bearish though. Historically, still bearish. So let's see if we can short it again. We have gap at this high, 4-hour high. Our ES has relatively good highs, while this one here is a run on the high. It was a data high actually. I think it's gonna get run at the open, and there it goes. Well, ES did nothing. I think it's gonna go to this low here. And after this run on the high, right there, price left behind this gap, which was inversed, retracement, and in this retracement maybe you can short it. Target this low. This is a gap retracement. It's a very risky trade, but it would be a good one. So let's sell it. $2.5 locked in, bro. Anyways, if I would have shorted it here with my stop here, I would have faced a really huge amount of heat, although it would have won as well. But this was a classic. And that was in the first 13 minutes of market open. Insane. Now let's see if we can target some daily lows as our next targets as we take pre this market. Let's go to the next thing. previous weekly low is here as well. We mark it so that we can target it on the next possible short. Now I don't see any gaps, that's why I'm skipping all of these time frames. Now this is not the best condition to trade, honestly. Trading without any supporting POI is not recommended. Anyways, here's the run on the high. Yeah, it's easy to connect, man. And hello, Gen X trades by Lady. Hello. It's really easy to connect it to any broker. I think I've just got an opportunity to short this. It's a terminal close here. And then target discount low, which is here. Even if we hit the fib or this, consider in discount the only gap we have here is that one. So it was filled, so there's not that big of a chance that it goes all the way there. Let's see what happens. So Gen X trades by Lady E. I think I just call you Gen X only. So Gen X, which broker do you use? I think they have integrations with many brokers. And meanwhile, let's see if the short hits stop loss in 3, 2, 1. Oh, come on, seriously. Yep, banger right there. So quick great win for how many minutes? How long was this? Around 16-17 minutes. So very good one. I believe it's going to continue lower though, because the high time frame shows some bearishness. You can see we end up hitting this low here as well for a 2.8 trade. Damn. So I believe the weekly candle is about to close. It's Friday this day, 1st of July. Wait, is it first? Yeah, the 4th of July is where there's the holiday. So 1st of July, it's okay. You can trade that. All right, how's the 4 hour? Ooh, use pen and paper. I used to do that when I started, but I no longer do that. Obviously I switched to digital way, but how do you measure the statistics if you're kind of using paper? Like, how do you know that the strategy has this risk to reward, it's fixed, it's this current win rate and stuff? How do you determine that when using pen and paper? There's a 1 hour gap, small one here that's holding. I think for it to short again, it should first maybe retrace into a premium gap like this one here, then maybe distribute lower if we're still bearish. So the lowest hanging fruit will be this Asia high. Sunday open, also have a good fair value gap here. By the way, there are also some lows here that are good liquidity. Right, there's the run on the lows and drop into the gap. Let's see if price rejects the gap. I think this is some choppy PA. How's the 4 hour? Look at this barcode. Right here, get the inversion. Let's see, do you have like a 15 or 5-minute high? Well, the 15-minute high premium gap is here. Be a little bit far, but I think we could target that. And you also have this open at 10. This hourly open, I think there were some news, that's why there are these weeks. If this is a data high, then you can target the data high and go with it. Consider the PMI data high, so let's target the data high and see if it gets hit. You'll see. Well, the market is slow on this day. I think it was like a bank holiday. Wait. Do you have a 2-minute gap? Do you have a 2-minute or there is a stop out? So close to stop out. Yeah, we're done. I think this was like a bank holiday because look at how long it took it to reach there, even though we were wicked out. But wow, it was insane. So not a bad one, not a bad one at all. So Gen X, I think maybe if that's what you prefer, it's okay. It's just that I might be lazy. I just don't. It's just hard for me to sit and write down like the entry, the fill, the stuff. I just want to focus on what I need to change, like the way I react during the trade and stuff. But I like the method because I also used to use Notion, and it was also helping. I used it in backtesting and journaling my live trades, so everything was really great. Wait, did I say that this day was a bank holiday? No, it wasn't a bank holiday, obviously, because there was some news. It's just that a trade was wicked out and then market exploded high. It's something that I've gotten used to, so I'm no longer questioning it. Now we have a low here. Price failed to run this high, but ES run it, so left behind an SMT. We also have this run on the high, so we're driven from buy side to sell side, showing that I'm bearish. also an hourly inversion here, so I think it's gonna continue lower. 15 minutes, we've got some gaps here, and yeah, let's see if we have a run or a run to the buy side actually right at the open, but apparently there is none. Okay, that's what I was waiting for. Run on the highs here. Look at the SMT. Okay, get a 2-minute inversion, and this is where I would like to short it. And let's see the chart. Oh, well, thank you. So, how long have you been trading Gen X? And how is your trading journey so far? The slow is looking good. My SL could be somewhere around there, for around I think it's 8. If you do 500 over 60, I think that's 8. I think the reason of that was because ES had already run the low. Let's see. So making NQ not run the low at all. So we still got another run on the highs. 30-minute 1 hour retracement into the gap. So we saw another 2-minute inversion here with an SMT. I don't know why it doesn't want to drop already. I'll target a discount gap of this swing, which will be right here. Yeah, it's really great, man. You should get 1% better every single day. Should really get 1% better every single day. And 3 years, man, you have experience in the markets, man. You really have experience, and I really hope you boom and grow as much as you want. I know you might even be profitable, but you're never in your prime when you're a trader. You always constantly grow. Another stop out. Now price has retraced into the daily gap, which is also like a 4-hour thing. So should it drop now? It could do anything here. But this high here could get run, then market drops, or market runs the low first, then goes high. So whichever it runs first, we would like to target the opposite. Right there goes the high. But I think this is it's low from 8, and this low here, this is relatively close. It's from London, so it's relatively close. Let's see if this one hits. Wait, did ES run this slow though? Is it like a 15-minute gap or a 1 hour? Sorry. Apparently it's a 15-minute gap and it's holding price really crazily. Nice, we end up getting stopped out at break even, but it was a nice run. Looks like market has shifted and has started to go higher. Let's see, the daily is pushing through this gap. I would like to see it reject though and go to like this low with the POI here. So if it rejects, I'll be looking towards this low. Maybe it will run this high, something like this, then deliver to sell side. That's what I would like to see in today's session. Right, there's the run on the high. So is it gonna reverse or is it gonna continue higher? Looks like it's gonna continue higher. Just gonna get a retracement into the 5-minute gap. Have an SMT with these lows here. I think it's gonna hit that high, obviously. Let's go to the next day here. It's a high there. The price could fly directly to it. We are in this good gap here and this one. Apparently you had non-farm payrolls at July the 8th. I thought it was like on the 1st, but yeah, whatever. So I would like to see maybe run on the low for the continuation upside to happen towards these highs, but you can see that there is some correlation. But with that, you can see that also prices in this gap here. It's an hourly gap, it's a 4-hour gap, so I'm looking to long it, honestly. Now we have an SMT and the run on liquidity here at 931, so I don't know, I have a conviction that it's going to go higher. For here there was an entry. So if you check the 2 minute, it's an inversion. The 1 minute, it's an inversion, and we have this run on the lows. We have the SMT at this, and we still have the drawn liquidity. So this will be the long. We'll stop at the low here. You can target this, or even this for a 3R. Yikes! But yeah. This will be a great run, but the chances that I take that kind of trade in the live markets are really low. Don't take trades for that long. I've closed like at the 2R. Checking the weekly, we're in some barcode. How did the monthly go? Let's check the daily. Daily, we have no wick on the upside. It's a Monday, just at the weekly open, so I think maybe it's gonna go higher today. There's a 4-hour gap. The price is in now, giving me this as a potential draw. That's right. Ooh, very good SMT. So it's now 2-on-1, and there's also a 4-hour fair value gap. 3-on-1, giving me more bearish confidence. I mean bullish confidence. So let's see what happens at the open. Price runs this low here, and this one leaving behind some sort of SMT. Ooh, and also runs this low here aggressively. So which invalidates the SMT as well. Wow. can't determine anything here on the daily. It's pretty unclear. Well, if this fork would close inversing here, it would be great, even though I don't know, it's not looking like the best kind of PA. Has it run on these highs from Monday? ES hasn't run them yet. Yeah, bro, I do trade prop firms, and I trade ICT obviously. I do use my funded futures, Top Step, and sometimes I use some CFD firms, but MFFU, and it's called my funded futures and Top Step. Those are the two that I use. Right at this 2-minute inversion, and checking the 1 hour, we're in the gap, we've run the high, so where next? Except if you check this whole pricing, but this low at the open is a good target. Let's short this and see. Well, I've never used funding ticks, but I've used funded next, but for the CFD part back when I still traded forex. But I believe funded next is legit. I've used it and it's legit. You can try it as well. Wow. Well, this was generational drop. And it's gonna obviously reshape probably. Let's see. So which strategy do you use, Gen X? Whoa. This is crazy. We've had an overnight drop, which means this target here is more likely to get hit. Are you able to automate backtesting? What do you mean automating backtesting? But for recording the entries and exits, it does record that. Like entries, exits, contracts traded, the commissions that it would have costed, and yeah, it pretty much records almost everything. So we have around this high here, and then a generational drop. So maybe I would trade it if it could retrace to premium. Then maybe I would look for some shorts. But as of now, there's nothing that good to trade. Oh, that's nice. Fair value gap. So you do forex or futures? Doesn't really want to drop. Okay, now the terminal has inversed here. This gap, I was looking for the retracement higher, but is this premium? I don't think so. No, not premium. Nope. I don't think it does that. I don't think it automates backtesting for you, but you can put the confluences. I think what it does is run the. I've never tested this though. I saw it on FX Replay, but I think it's also there on TradeZilla. You know what they call the Monte Carlo simulation of how your trades will be spread out along a given period of time. Let's say a year, or maybe with a round of 400, 500, or 1,000 trades, how your strat will perform according to the stats that they have by that time. So for the automation, I'm not really sure. I ain't gonna lie to you, but maybe you might be trying to min the Monte Carlo simulations. This day was kind of slow, but let's see if you can target the previous daily low here. Don't have any confluences here in the 4 hour. Check the 1 hour. ES has already run this low, which is suspicious, which means that previous daily low has been run on ES, and on NQ it hasn't been run, which shows that price could reverse and go against us at any time. Well, my analysis first, it's a top-down analysis, so that I know at what point price is. Then the next thing is POIs. Are we in fair value gap? I use only fair value gaps, because I believe if we're bullish, we're respecting fair value gaps. If we're bearish, we're also respecting fair value gaps, but we will be disrespecting bullish fair value gaps, creating inversion. So I trade fair value gaps and inversions. Then obviously for my entry, I use it's called the MEC model, but I call it the inversion model strategy, where we can first have a liquidity run, then if we get the rejection maybe from a POI, I would look first for an entry. I don't know if I've described it well enough, but that's basically it. come on, don't tell me it's gonna consolidate in this range. Okay, apparently since price has since ES has ran this low, it's gonna start probably going higher. Now checking the 4 hour, so first things that I have determined is that price is in some kind of consolidation phase, so I should not be targeting very big targets. So this high here is also a good one, and this one. So we can see that we have an SMT here. We also have this fair value gap here holding. I mean the inverted FVG Gen X, and the time frame is the 1 minute. I use the 1 or 2 minute for entry, 15 minute for the POI, 15 minute and above for the POIs, 15 minute and the 1 hour for the POIs. Now the 4 hour is in a fair value gap, 1 hour same thing, and if you observe, you can see that we have a sweep of liquidity and an SMT. So I believe now it should start going higher. Soon enough it should start going higher, and it does right at the open. Few minutes at the first 10 minutes pushes higher, get a retracement into the 15 minute, running these lows here. So if this one inverses, then I will be looking for some longs. By the way, Gen X, it's not inverted FVG, is not a BPR. BPR is which is the balance price range, but it's possible that a BPR could have an inversion, but doesn't necessarily mean that every inversion is a BPR, because a gap can be inverted without another gap getting in the way. Right, good candle close here. I think the 15 minute is about to reject now. It's a 2 minute rejection here. I didn't use the 1 minute because we still had a gap in the 2 minute. Let's see if we can long it towards this high that it created earlier. Yikes. 500 over 86, around 6 minis. What? That was 1 minute. That was 1 minute. Insane TP, bros. 1 minute trade. There's a fire one. And price skips a beat and flies higher. It's on Monday. Still have this high here intact. I think it's gonna go to these highs here. It might retrace slower, maybe to create the low of the day or of the low of the week, but I believe it's bullish here. 4 hour, well, using this price swing, discount PTRAs will be here, but then this discount PTRA was filled, so let's use the next swing, which will be this one. So, except maybe if it retraces here, which is really far, let's see, scalping it would mean that I would take the closest gap like this one. So I think I'll take the closest one, except if it disrespects it, which is totally fine. So let's see what the market shows. That's what is important. Run on the low as I wanted, push higher, 2 minute, other 2 minute, 3, 4, 5. This is the only gap here that was inverted, as you can see. Now I would like to see it hit this high here, and if I long it at this, let's see the sizes. 34, 39, 1.3, 1.3. Let's see, that means 8 minis. Bang, stopped out. The next entry was, check this out, at the inversion here, and here's why. 1 minute had inverted obviously, but if you check you can see that we have an SMT here, and 15 minute we're so close to this low, but we had run these ones here, leaving here a bigger SMT. I don't know if it's in a gap, but I believe it is. Yeah, it's a 4 hour gap. You can see price dropped into a 4 hour gap, then started to push higher. So let's see what it does in this next 4 hour. This next 4 hour candle. Let me remove this. Right now here we have yet another SMT. Price is still in the 4 hour. We've inverted this small gap for around 2. Let's extend it like this. I wonder why it stopped here though. So we're in some kind of drop. Now that the low of the week was formed, I think it's gonna start to provide longing opportunities. But this gap here is not the best. It could hold price bearish go here. So I'm leaving room for being wrong. But if I'm right, this high here is a good target. Look at this SMT here. It's low here. It's a 1 hour gap. He has retraced into it, but not NQ. Wait a minute. I think there's a 15-minute gap here. 15-minute gap right there. No 30-minute, no hourly, but it's just a retracement lower. Yeah, this is the 15-minute gap. Has ES run it? Nope, not yet. So are we set for a reversal, something like that? I believe so, but there is no inversion. This is a really great rejection. It falls short of the high, then drops. Wow. Looks like our targets were already met yesterday. The furthest ones will be there, but I think I would like to look for the low hanging fruits because price is in this gap, so I never trust NQ at all to rally that much. I'd rather do that on gold. There's a 4 gap here. 1 hour run. Asia open. What difference is here? 45. So I'd like to see a run lower at the open. Well, I use SMT as an extra confluence after determining my bias. So to know which one to use, I first determine like even before I had SMT, like where is price going, without caring that there is an SMT or something like that. Then after, do I see an SMT here? If so, well, that supports my bias. And the other time where I consider SMT very crucial is when I'm in a trade, like let's say ES hits my target profit. Well, NQ hasn't done that yet. I will either move to break even or be cautious with the way I manage that trade, because it could just reverse on you anytime, and it's based on countless events. So yeah, you just try to be cautious just every single time. There was no inversion here for me to enter at, but everything was going quite smooth here. Two-minute gaps in burst, 1 minute gaps in burst as well. I think it's gonna go to this high, obviously. Banger. So here is the sweep, and the SMT, obviously. You can see that if I had a bullish bias, you saw that, and we had a run on the low right here. So that was the first thing. Second thing is we had small gap here for around one and a half tick handles. Also had another one here for around 4. So longing it at this expansion here wouldn't be a problem for this high, but that would mean you check out the inversion here. Okay, so if I'm looking for buys and NQ made a lower low while ES made a higher low, then I would use ES to enter buy on NQ. Yeah, you would use ES to enter buys, but remember, if maybe, for example, my final confluence for me is the inversion. So if there's no inversion, then I think I would be forcing that entry. So are all your confluences met? Yes. So is SMT the remaining confluence? Yeah. Does it align with your bias? If it aligns with your bias, then obviously take the trade. This was a tape trade though. It was a hindsight trade. Is it gonna hit this high though? There it goes. There it goes. Look at this. An inversion. It's an inversion fair value gap, man. For example, let me share an example. This is a 15-minute inversion. This gap here, you can see, it was a fair value gap right here. Then inversion, inversion fair value gap. So this here is an inversion. And what I mean, like, let's say for example you are about to enter on buys. Let me use this recent trade example. You can see here, let's skip to this candle here. Right, okay, let's just watch it at this candle here. You can see that there was an SMT, but let's ignore that. What is our bias here? I check the 15-minute. I see that, well, we're dropping and we are rejecting, obviously. And since we are rejecting, I believe that if price is going to go high, it has to run some lows. So I'll wait for it to run some lows, for which it does. And that exact thing that you were saying, you can see that ES created a lower low, NQ didn't. So I entered. Actually, that was an added confluence. Then the last confluence was that 2-minute in burst, which means I have to enter. So I can say that I used SMT as an extra confluence, not the sole thing that I would base on entering a trade. So I don't know if you understand the analogy behind the entry on SMT. But yeah, that's how it is. So let's go to the next day. Anyways, I think I'm gonna close the session here and go have some sleep, prepare myself for heading to my 9 to 5 tomorrow. But it was nice hanging out with you, Gen X, and leave a like, a sub, a comment, or any feedback. And thank you for being here. Let's check out the stats a little bit, then we'll close off the session. So far, we have around 5 losers more than winners. There's a time where we had 7 consistent winners. Wow, that's great. That was great. 1.78 profit factor. Okay, that's nice. Wait, was that 2022? I believe I said 2022. Well. Have a good. I think July was okay here. 2 trades, one trade. So I think it was good. How about June? For July, I was up around 3k. June, 5.5k. I think this is okay. Let's check the reports. So monthly average has risen above the lowest month. Almost double it, but not double obviously, but it's really better. It's around more than 1,000 from the lowest month, so that's a really great one. And the profit factor has raised significantly, and I can see the whole time is around 10-11 minutes. So I think that is also I think I should add to what shows me that the trade is one of the normal trades that I take. Because sometimes if I take a trade and it takes around 40 minutes, it's obviously not some of the trades that I usually take. I guess that was all for today's session. It's all about getting 1% better every day. Thank you to Gen X who made this session fun, and bro, this was a really great